Journey to the Armstrong Lunar Resort, your ultimate lunar vacation. Welcome to our series exploring the exciting current plans for humanity's return to the moon and the future development of lunar tourism. In this series, we'll delve into the intricate details and ambitious goals of upcoming missions, as well as the visionary concepts for making the moon a destination for space tourists. The series will be divided into 14 chapters, with 2 chapters featured in each episode. Join us as we embark on this fascinating journey to our closest celestial neighbor, the moon. The lunar dawn cast an ethereal glow across the Sea of Tranquility as I joined the tour group for a once-in-a-lifetime experience, exploring the Apollo 11 landing site. After a rigorous pre-mission briefing, we donned our pressurized suits, feeling the comforting tightness as breathable air whooshed in. Stepping into the awaiting rover, I couldn't help but grin beneath my helmet. This wasn't your average sightseeing vehicle. It was a lunar buggy, specially designed to handle the alien terrain. With a hum of electric power, we lurched forward, leaving a trail in the fine silver dust. As we crested a low hill, the panorama unfolded before us, a stark landscape of craters and plains bathed in the stark beauty of the lunar light. But one spot held a particular magnetism, the designated monument marking the Apollo 11 landing site. It was a place etched in history, a silent testament to human daring. The rover deposited us a respectful distance away, adhering to the strict regulations of the International Culture Protection Act. Still, the sense of awe was palpable. I activated my visor's high-resolution mode, zooming in on the preserved footprints, the first human impressions left on another world. Beside them, the skeletal remains of the lunar module, the Eagle, gleamed defiantly, a survivor of its fiery descent. But the most poignant sight was the American flag, now a faded white banner flapping gently in the perpetual lunar breeze. It stood as a powerful symbol of human achievement, bleached by the relentless solar wind, but forever standing tall. Our guide, a seasoned lunar archaeologist, brought the scene to life with tales of Neil Armstrong's historic first steps and Buzz Aldrin's momentous photographs. We learned about the delicate processes used to preserve this hallowed ground, ensuring its legacy for future generations. But the tour wasn't just about the past. Our guide gestured towards a cluster of metallic boxes nestled near the Eagle. Those, he explained, are time capsules left by later missions containing messages and artifacts for potential future lunar inhabitants. The idea sparked a thrill of anticipation, a connection forged across time, a promise of a future lunar society. As we reluctantly turned to leave, I couldn't shake the feeling of being a part of something bigger. Standing on the Apollo 11 landing site wasn't just about sightseeing. It was a pilgrimage to a place where humanity took a giant leap forward. It was a reminder of the power of human ingenuity and a glimpse into a future where lunar exploration wasn't just a memory, but a thriving reality. We boarded the rover, the silence of the cabin broken only by the hum of the electric engine. But within each of us, a different kind of silence resonated, the profound awe inspired by brushing against history on the dusty plains of the moon. Have you ever dreamt of gazing upon the spot where history was made? While you can't see the Apollo 11 landing craft itself from Earth, with a little know-how and the right equipment, you can embark on a lunar treasure hunt to find the exact location where Neil Armstrong took one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Sunday, July 20th, 1969. Around the world, nearly 1 billion people watched this moment on television as the first man from Earth prepared to set foot upon the moon.
Our destination is Tranquility Base, nestled within the vast, dark lava plains of Mare Tranquillitatis, or the Sea of Tranquility. This lunar sea is easily visible to the naked eye, appearing as a dark splotch on the moon's surface. But to truly get close to the landing site, we'll need a telescope. Here's what you'll need for your celestial adventure. A telescope. A good starting point is a 200mm telescope, which can resolve features as small as 600 meters across. The bigger the telescope, the better the detail you'll see. Timing is key. The best window for observation falls between 5 days after a new moon and 4 days after a full moon. During this phase, the lighting creates optimal shadows that highlight the lunar features. While you won't see the Eagle lander itself, you can use nearby craters as landmarks to pinpoint the landing site. Look for the southwest corner of the Sea of Tranquility, where you'll find two prominent craters, 31 kilometers Ritter and 30 kilometers Sabine. Imagine a line drawn from the center of Ritter westward through Sabine. This line will lead you to a scalloped section of the sea's edge, where a smaller crater named Moltke sits nestled against the highlands. Moltke's bright ejecta collar makes it a good marker. Now travel north from Moltke for about the same distance as the scalloped edge, roughly 60 kilometers, veering slightly east. Here you'll find a small, 5-kilometer crater named Armstrong, a tribute to the first human on the moon. Apollo 11 wasn't the only crew to leave their mark on the lunar surface. Fellow astronauts Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins also have craters named after them in the vicinity. Draw a line from Armstrong towards the center of Sabine. Collins crater, 3 kilometers in diameter, lies 38 kilometers along this line. Continuing for another 50 kilometers brings you to the 3-kilometer Aldrin crater. Just south of the midpoint between Aldrin and Collins, look for a triangle of craters. The northernmost one, 3 kilometers Sabine C, is our key. Now, draw a line westward from the crater below Sabine C for the same distance. This line will point you directly towards the historic landing site of Tranquility Base, the place where humanity first set foot on another world. While you might not see the Eagle itself, by following these steps, you'll be gazing upon the exact spot where history unfolded and feel a personal connection to that momentous occasion. Remember, even though we can't physically touch the lunar surface yet, with a little exploration and knowledge, we can still embark on incredible journeys through space. On my second day, after visiting the historic Apollo 11 landing site, I was about to embark on an extraordinary adventure to explore the moon's lava tubes in the region of the Sea of Tranquility. The morning began with a briefing from their expert guide, Dr. Emily Carter, a geologist specializing in lunar formations. Me and my fellow tourists gathered in the resort's lobby, buzzing with excitement. Dr. Carter's enthusiasm was infectious as she explained the day's itinerary and the significance of their destination.
Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to explore some of the most fascinating features of the moon, the lava tubes. These vast underground tunnels were formed by ancient volcanic activity and are crucial to our understanding of lunar geology. More importantly, they hold the key to future lunar habitation.
Dr. Carter began. Equipped with headlamps and spacesuits designed for spelunking, the group boarded a rover that would take them to the entrance of the largest lava tube in the area. As we traveled, Dr. Carter shared more insights.
Lava tubes like the ones we're visiting today were formed billions of years ago when molten lava flowed beneath the surface. As the lava drained away, it left behind these incredible hollow tunnels. Some are so large that you could fit entire cities inside them.
Upon reaching the entrance, my group carefully descended into the darkness. The initial chamber was vast, with walls that sparkled under their lights, revealing a tapestry of minerals. I felt a shiver of excitement as we ventured deeper into the tube.
The lack of atmosphere on the moon means these tubes are incredibly well preserved compared to similar structures on Earth. No wind, no water erosion, just pure ancient rock.
Dr. Carter explained.
This makes them perfect for scientific study and, potentially, for future lunar bases. The natural insulation provided by the surrounding rock protects against the extreme temperatures on the surface, and the potential for finding water ice in these depths is a game changer.
As we progressed, the group encountered breathtaking formations, stalactites and stalagmites created over eons by slow mineral deposits. The air was cool and still, and the silence was profound, broken only by the sound of their breathing and the crunch of lunar dust underfoot. At one point, Dr. Carter led us into a massive cavern, the ceiling stretching high above.
This chamber could easily house a small city,
she said, her voice echoing in the expanse.
Imagine future lunar colonies using these tubes as natural shelters. Not only would it save on construction materials, but it also offers protection from cosmic radiation and micrometeorite impacts.
I marveled at the thought of humans living in these ancient tunnels, their lives intertwined with the history of the moon itself. The tour continued, with Dr. Carter pointing out various geological features and sharing her knowledge of the moon's volcanic past. The highlight of the trip came when we stumbled upon a series of small water deposits clinging to the cave walls. These remnants of ancient ice were a promising sign for future exploration and colonization.
These water deposits are incredibly important,
Dr. Carter said, her eyes shining with excitement.
They suggest that we could find more significant quantities of water ice deeper within these tubes. This ice could be used for drinking water, growing food, and even creating rocket fuel. It's one of the reasons why these lava tubes are so vital to our plans for sustainable living on the moon.
As our exploration came to an end, the group gathered at the mouth of the lava tube, taking one last look at the remarkable underground world we had just discovered. I felt a profound sense of connection to the moon, its mysteries, and its potential. Returning to the Armstrong Lunar Resort, I couldn't help but feel that this was just the beginning. The exploration of the lunar lava tubes had not only fulfilled a lifelong dream, but it also opened my eyes to the endless possibilities of lunar exploration and colonization. The moon, once a distant and unreachable celestial body, was now a place of wonder and opportunity, and I was thrilled to be a part of this new era of discovery. While the surface of the moon has been extensively documented by various satellite missions, relatively little is known about the presence and nature of subsurface cavities. In the volcanic areas of the lunar Maria, planetary geologists have identified pits that could be related to the collapse of cavities such as lava tubes, tunnels where lava once flowed under the lunar surface. Lunar caves, as large as entire towns, could provide shelter for human exploration. Recent studies suggest that caverns on the Moon and Mars offer enough space, protection against cosmic radiation, and stable temperatures for astronaut bases. Researchers compared hundreds of underground formations on Earth, the Moon, and Mars, discovering that while lava tubes on our planet typically range from 10 to 30 meters in diameter, those on the Moon could exceed 800 meters. This enormous size is due to the lower gravity, which allows these structures to remain stable and intact, unlike many on Earth.
Martian and lunar caves greatly differ in environmental conditions and gravity, which affects their size and stability. However, their formation and environment have more in common than you might think,
says Francesco Sauro, Technical Course Director of ESA's Caves Training Program and Professor of Planetary Geology at the University of Bologna, Italy. Lava tubes form when the surface of a lava stream cools and hardens, creating a tunnel through which hot lava flows. After the volcanic activity ceases, these tunnels remain empty, leaving caves of varying sizes. These formations have been extensively explored on Earth, but much remains to be learned about similar structures on the Moon and Mars. Researchers have used digital scans of lava tubes in Spain's Canary Islands, Iceland, Hawaii, and Australia to compare with data from lunar and Martian caves whose roofs have collapsed. By combining satellite images and altimetry data, they have found that Martian and lunar lava tubes are significantly larger than those on Earth. On the Moon, some tubes are large enough to contain the entire center of a medium-sized city.
On the Moon, their volume can exceed 1 billion cubic meters, up to 1 kilometer in diameter, or as wide as Central Park in New York,
says co-author Ricardo Pozzobon.
Despite their impressive size, they remain stable, and most are still intact.
One of the biggest challenges of creating settlements on other planets is building safe living spaces. Whether on Mars or the Moon, space settlers will need to live, work, and sleep in environments with extreme temperatures, no oxygen, and constant exposure to radiation and micrometeorites. Lava tubes could be converted into well-protected habitats. Temperatures inside these caves remain relatively stable, and their roofs provide excellent protection against harmful cosmic and solar radiation and small meteorite impacts. For decades, the existence of underground areas on the Moon was debated. This week, an international research team led by the University of Trento in Italy published a study in Nature Astronomy, confirming the presence of accessible areas beneath the lunar surface. This discovery is crucial for future lunar colonies. Researchers reviewed data from NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, revealing an emptied lava tube in the Sea of Tranquility, which could one day be accessible to astronauts.
We analyzed these images with complex signal processing technologies recently developed in our laboratory and found that part of the radar reflections from an area of the Sea of Tranquility can be attributed to an underground conduit,
says Lorenzo Bruzzoni of the University of Trento.
This discovery provides the first direct evidence of an accessible rock tunnel beneath the surface of the Moon.
The first astronauts since the Apollo era will land on the lunar surface later this decade. If NASA's Artemis program proceeds as planned, it will establish a permanent presence on the Moon, particularly around the water-rich South Pole. The Moon's surface is one of the most extreme environments in the solar system, with wild temperature swings, intense moonquakes, and constant radiation. Although artificial structures will provide shelter, natural defenses offered by the Moon could be invaluable. Lava tubes and caves, similar to those on Earth, have provided refuge from intense weather for almost 10,000 years. The recently discovered cave in the Sea of Tranquility is likely one of many such conduits on the Moon. These caves could offer protection from the Moon's otherworldly threats, from solar radiation to falling micrometeorites. Additionally, exploring these caves could uncover a wealth of geological treasures and potentially valuable water ice deposits. The discovery and exploration of lunar lava tubes represent a significant step toward future lunar colonization. These natural shelters provide a promising solution for safe human habitation, offering protection and stability in one of the harshest environments known. As research and exploration continue, these underground caverns may soon become the cornerstone of humanity's presence on the Moon. As we conclude this virtual odyssey, we invite you to like and subscribe to our channel to embark on further cosmic explorations. With every click, you elevate our pursuit of knowledge and contribute to the collective understanding of our universe.